A long time ago, in a big city in India, there was an old building. Inside this building, there was one small room. The room had 4 walls, but it had no door. It had no window. There was no way to go inside. There was no way to come out. For many, many years, no person could enter this room. It sat quiet and dark inside one of the oldest buildings in the country. Every day, many people walked past it. They walked to work. They walked to read books. They did not know that a secret room was right there, close to them. What was inside the room? No one knew. No one could say. This is the strange story of the room with no doors. This room is inside the National Library of India. The library is in Kolkata. Kolkata is a big city in the east of India. The building is very old. It is about 250 years old. A long, long time ago, this building was not a library. It was a big house. Rich people lived there. Important people lived there too. The house had many rooms. It had big halls. It had long hallways. Over many years, people changed the house. They fixed old walls. They built new parts. They painted the walls. They cleaned the floors. But one small room never changed. No one opened this room. No one touched it. Slowly, year after year, people forgot it was even there. The little room became a quiet secret, hiding inside the big old building. Then, one day, some researchers looked at very old plans of the building. These plans were like maps of the house. The plans showed every room. They showed every wall, too. As the researchers looked closely, they saw something strange. There was a room on the plan, but this room had no door. It had no window. There was no way to walk inside it at all. The room was small, about 120 square feet. That is about the size of a small bedroom. Everyone who saw this was very surprised. Why would someone build a room with no way inside? Why would they close it forever? The researchers checked the old plans again. They checked them many times, but the answer was always the same. The room was sealed. It was shut tight all the way around with no opening anywhere. Soon, many people in the city heard about this strange room, and they began to guess. What could be inside? Some people said it was a tomb. Maybe, they said, someone was buried there a long time ago. Maybe the room was closed up to keep that person safe and quiet forever. Other people had a different idea, a happier one. Maybe it was a treasure room. Maybe there was gold inside. Maybe there were old, beautiful things inside too. Long ago, rich people sometimes hid their treasure in secret places, so this idea felt very exciting to many people, but some people felt afraid instead. The library is very old and very quiet. In some places, it is dark too, so local stories said the room was haunted. They said a spirit lived inside, all alone, in the dark. No one knew which story was true, but everyone wanted to find out. The story spread quickly through the city. It was on the news. People talked about it at home. People talked about it at work too. Soon, the room with no doors became famous all over Kolkata. At last, the experts made a careful plan. They wanted to look inside the room, but they did not want to hurt the old building. They did not want to break the wall and ruin something so old and so special. This building is part of India's history, so the experts moved slowly and carefully. They chose to drill just one small hole into the wall. Only a small hole, nothing more. This way, they could look inside without breaking the rest of the wall. This is the best part of the story. The experts did not guess wildly. They did not smash the wall in a hurry. Instead, they used science. They used patience. They used great care. They wanted to solve the mystery, but they also wanted to protect the old building at the same time. This shows us something good and important. When we feel curious, we do not need to be careless. We can slow down. We can be patient and calm. We can be smart about how we look for answers. The room with no doors still makes people wonder, even today. But it also teaches us a simple and beautiful lesson. Mystery can be exciting, and careful curiosity is always the best way to find the truth.